A lot of great stuff came out this year. Popular titles had breakout anime hits, and tons of fresh, original new manga entered the scene. Dragon and Chameleon illustrated a supernatural battle to the top of the manga industry with some of the sickest art I have ever seen. School of Street single-handedly justified the existence of long strip format comics with incredible composition and poses. Garu showed off some Miyabi-level fluffable ears with a cute twist on a forbidden romance rom-com. And Tsukuya kept doing what he does best, which is, yeah, that. But aside from these, there are quite a few gems that might have gone unnoticed. So take a seat, and you might find your next favorite in this video. Links to official releases are all in the description. When you first entered high school, you probably encountered a pretty drastic shift in your personality, right? Reinventing yourself seemed like such a good idea. Maybe leave the Naruto headband at home, though. In no Gyaru in this class, a girl decides to do just that, and does a full 180 from serious and diligent student into full-on Gyaru. She meets a boy who did the exact same thing, becoming a delinquent. It's a goofy rom-com about two dorks who both act like they think the cool kids are supposed to act and think the other's the real deal. It's really cute. With the release of the banger Shadow of the Erdtree over the summer, it's a great time to get into Elden Ring. Road to the Erdtree is hilarious, even if you haven't played the game, and it's amazing if you have. It's a great fantasy comedy that I still can't believe served as the first official Elden Ring media outside of the game. I made a whole video on it, so go check that out. There's a certain genre of manga that tends to be really meta about the making of manga and the industry itself. It's always a fun look behind the curtain. Monochrome Days follows a salaryman who used to do art and his co-worker, an aspiring manga artist. It's about reigniting the flame of an abandoned dream and allowing yourself to relish in the passion of creation. The pacing is excellent, quickly showing the two office drones inspiring one another as they work to create a manga together, with a hint of romantic tension. I really adore the art in this one though. Just look at her face, man. She's so wet and pathetic. I don't need to sell you on this one. You know why it's here. I love mind reading. In fact, I know what you're thinking right now. Wow, what a cool YouTuber. I ought to subscribe. No? Manga Koto Scramble's MC comes from a family of mind readers, which lets him know very clearly that a classmate of his is entirely infatuated with him. Her inner thoughts are represented by this adorable chibi version of herself that betrays her outward appearance. It's got more about special bloodlines and powers and stuff, but I just like how it approaches mind reading. I particularly love this scene where he and his dad are having a mental conversation at the same time as a physical one during dinner. Man, romance manga in 2024 are crazy. It used to be that you had to wait 70 chapters before they even thought about holding hands. Now they're dating before you can even blink. Despite the quick pace, Blooming Love still feels grounded, never rushed. What really feels special about this love story, though, is the care and attention to detail in the backgrounds of the characters. It's a romance between a craftswoman and an artist, and the love and respect for the art forms oozes out of every page. The woman is a drum maker, and through her life you see so much about traditional Japanese drum culture and drum making. She's a real rugged and determined girl, but through her craft you see a softer side to her. It's a wonderful read, and I'd be really surprised if it never got an anime adaptation. Isekai stories are, as we well know, slightly overrepresented at the moment. However, this one is worth checking out. Ohashire gets reincarnated into the world of her favorite otome game, except she's the ultimate lesbian and is head over heels in love with the antagonist of the game instead of any of the dudes. This one is special because it really feels gay. Not like cutesy Yuri, but straight up homosexual. They address homophobia, how the MC has dealt with discrimination and unrequited love, and it shows off an unabashed queer love story. It doesn't remain steeped in just that, though. There's a larger story about a revolution against nobility. The fantasy world building is excellent, and the characters are all lovable. The highest recommendation of this I can give is that it got me to read a light novel for the first time. Now I own all 5 volumes, and the spin-off, and the manga, and Look at her face. Look at it. Isn't it adorable? Every day, she goes home with a guy as a part of the Hyper Go Home Club. Way cooler than just the Go Home Club, of course, as indicated by the Hyper. She's an eccentric weirdo who says and does odd things, but that's exactly the charm of it. Her love interest, an ex-soccer player, injured and without a club to go to, entertains her antics. And together, the two get to know one another through the simple romanticism of walking home after school. It's a slow, gentle, leisurely slice of life. Also, I just really love the way her face is drawn. This year, I got back into Magic the Gathering after being out of the game for like 7 years. So when I heard there was a manga about magic, I had to give it a look. It's a romance between two dorks who play a card game set in the 90s during the release of some of the most pivotal and game-defining cards. This one is definitely more specialized for the Magic fans, but it's not inherently inaccessible. The two teens' love of the game shines through. It's got those wild battle shonen card game manga style matches between the characters, who narrate all of their actions like their life depends on it, and then a chapter later it engages you in a tragic tale of forbidden love and a dark foreshadowing of a future that never came to pass. Plus, the English releases all come with a special promo card. Yippee! Wandering Sun is the story of a boy who wishes to be a girl, growing up through male puberty, and it shows all of the challenges that growing up trans entails. There's a lot to talk about, but this manga f***ed me up for 2 weeks straight after, and I'm still not really okay. I had to cut out an entire paragraph here because I'm just not ready to dive back into it to grab stuff to show off. Though I do intend to make a whole video on it at some point, so look out for that. Honestly, it'd be number 1 if it was more recent, but ending your top manga of 2024 list with a work from 2002 is a little silly, so number 2 it is. What would you do if you swapped bodies with your ex, who, unbeknownst to you, still had a crush on you and was actually lying about cheating on you with 4 people because she was nervous and tongue-tied? Thus, the comedic antics of the college-age ex-couple Sunao and Lemon ensue, the two now having to live as one another every other day. It comforts with familiarity and how it plays with body-swapping tropes, but never to a weird or creepy extent. The story doesn't dwell on one beat for too long, always moving to the next section at the right time. It's funny, the art is excellent, and the characters are well written and a ton of fun to watch interact. The real draw to me is those interactions, each one making you smile as you think, "Ah, what idiots," to yourself. It's really hard to explain why I love this one so much, but I desperately need this one to go to print in English, so go read it now, okay? Well, those were all my favorites that I read this year, and the stuff you should totally pay attention to, so you can say, "Oh yeah, I actually read that one way before the anime was announced, and thus I am morally superior." Anyway, that's all I got. I'll see you next time. Subscribe or whatever. Bye!